Hello everyone, you all are welcome. So students, you have been seeing so many things in surroundings, okay, and among all these, if we talk about the environment, we have two types of components, biotic components and abiotic components, right? And biotic component that relates to life. So for example, animals, people, plants, these all are known as biotic components, okay, and these biotic components need some other substances that fulfill their needs, and these are known as abiotic components, okay. And so biotic components, that means they are living resources, okay, and the another one we have abiotic, that means they are non-living substances, but still they are very important to live for the living organisms, right? And these resources are of two types, renewable resources and another one is non-renewable resources. So renewable resources, that means they can be regained after the interval of time, okay, but if we talk about the non-renewable substances, they will not be get if they are finished up, right? So renewable substances like sunlight, water, soil, air, so these are called natural renewable resources, and on the other hand non-renewable substances, that means they cannot be gained after interval of time. For example, fossil fuel, coal, petroleum. And if we do not take care of our renewable resources, then we can have shortage of these, right? And even it leads to the pollution. Okay, so first of all, what is pollution? When any harmful substances are added to the abiotic components, that it leads to pollution. So here in this chapter we will learn something about pollution of water and air. Okay, so first of all we have water. So our first renewable resource is water. So what is water? It's a natural resource that we use for the different purposes. For example, bathing, washing something, okay, and even for drinking also. Okay, so there are so many things where we use water. It is recycled by nature. So here we will discuss about the water pollution. So if we talk about water, if the harmful and unwanted particles are added in the water, then we will say water pollution is there, right? So what is water pollution? Unwanted, harmful substance added to water, then it is called water pollution. Okay, and now what are these substances called? These are called pollutants, okay. So if we say about the water pollutants, then what can be the definition for this? So what are water pollutants? When any harmful substance or poisonous substance then added to the water and makes water polluted, then the causative agents are known as pollutants, okay. So this is pollution and pollutants of water. Okay, so let's discuss about the different pollutants that make water polluted. Okay, first one we have sewage. If the sewage is not treated properly, then what would happen? So without the improper sewage system and the uncovered drainage system, so these two lead to the growth of many microorganisms, okay, and these microorganisms are transferred to us by having a contaminated food, because the flies and cockroaches, they just sit on these stuff and afterwards sit on our food which just directly contaminate our food, right? And if we take this food, so we have so many diseases like dysentery, diarrhea, cholera, okay, and typhoid too. So if we want to be free from these diseases, so our sewage system should be better, okay. And even if we do not have proper sewage system, that the defecate that the animals and human beings do in the open, and this directly get into the water and mix with it, and afterwards this leads to so many harmful diseases, okay. Next one, we have industrial waste. So in our modern era, we are just cutting the trees down at a large scale and constructing so many industries, and the waste that are released by these factories and industries, these are directly get into the water. The next we have fertilizers and pesticides. So how these fertilizers and pesticides pollute our water bodies. So what happens here, farmers are just spraying so many fertilizers and pesticides on their crops, okay, and when rain comes, these fertilizers and pesticides, they just wash away by the rain, and then this water gets into the water bodies like rivers and some ponds nearby us, right? And after that these pesticides and fertilizers are got mixed with the oxygen which is dissolved in the water body, okay, and then this oxygen get transmitted to the aquatic plants and animals, right? And afterwards when we eat these aquatic plants or animals, mostly like fish, when we take these, then these pesticides and fertilizers are indirectly get into our bodies also and make us sick. And one more thing, these fertilizers and pesticides, they just lead to the growth of algae, and this algae make a thick layer of it over the water, clear? And this thick layer, it stops reaching the sunlight to the aquatic plants and aquatic animals, and it affects the survival of these aquatic plants and aquatic animals. And the thick layer of algae over the water is known as eutrophication, okay, and even algal bloom is also the name for this, okay. So the spelling is eutrophication. So what happens here, algae makes its thick layer on the water, and it stops reaching the sunlight to the aquatic plants and aquatic animals, okay. And we know very well these are chemical substances, and these chemical substances do not decompose by the microorganisms, okay. And we should use the natural manure instead of these things, okay, because these are decomposed by the microorganisms and known as biodegradable substances, okay. So we should use biodegradable substances instead of non-biodegradable substances. So biodegradable, that means the substance that are decomposed by microorganisms, okay, and non-biodegradable, that means they are not decomposed by the microorganisms, okay. And the last one, we have hospital waste. So in hospitals, so many people go and come with so many germs with them, right? And if these people, they transmit germs from their body to the other things present in the hospital, right? And even person to person also. So this leads to transmitting of germs from person to person or person to the things, okay. So next we have potable water. So what do you mean by potable water? So potable water, it means water that is suitable for our drinking, okay. So suitable for drinking, this is known as potable water, okay. And if we talk about earth, only 0.01% potable water we have, right? So here are some ways by using we can make our water potable, that means suitable for drinking. The first one is boiling. So if we boil water 15 to 20 minutes, it can kill the germs present in that. Okay. And next is ultraviolet light. So ultraviolet light, it also kills the germs present in water. Next, reverse osmosis. So in the reverse osmosis, solid impurities are treated by this process, okay, but the insoluble impurities are still left. So these insoluble impurities present in water, then we will do chlorination. So what is chlorination? To add some chlorine tablets in the water, and after dissolving these tablets, the germs will be killed by the chlorine tablets. Okay, so this is what about the potable water. And the water treatment plant is also there. So here is our water treatment plant. So how does it work? So first of all, we have water, that is groundwater, clear, and this further goes through the pipes. Okay, here water pump is there, then so here this water is pumped by this water pump, okay, and then it goes to this chamber, okay, and in this tank what happens here, sedimentation and decantation process occur. Okay, so after decantation the water is further passes to the next tank. So and in this tank alum is added. So what alum does here? So alum just settle down the heavier impurities down, okay, and make the lighter particles float on the surface of water. And afterward this water having small impurities, okay, and this further transmitted to the filter tank. This is called filter tank, where sand or other the small impurities are filtered by the tank, and afterwards this water goes to the next tank with the help of water pump, okay, and here chlorine tablets are to be added, and these chlorine tablets, these just kill the germs present in water, okay, and afterward this germ free water then again pumped by the pump, and then it is stored in the store tank, and afterwards this water goes to the houses of us. Okay, so this is all about the water treatment plant. Clear? So here is our last topic of today. Okay, so conservation of water. So we learned so many reasons by which we can cause water pollution, but if we want to conserve the water, so what can be the right ways for conserving water? So first of all, we have avoiding wastage. So we should avoid wastage of water. For example, while brushing your teeth, you just remain the tap opens, okay, so it shouldn't be done, okay, and use water whatever you are required with, okay. And the next one, better method of irrigation, so like a drip method, so by which we can irrigate the larger area of field with a single effort, okay. And the next one, recycling of water, so try to recycle water. Next, effective flood control method. So the next one, soil conservation. If we conserve the soil, then groundwater can be preserved or conserved, okay. Next, using biodegradable substances, okay, so try to use biodegradable substances because these can be decomposed by nature, so microorganisms can decompose these kind of biodegradable substances, okay. And the next one, water harvesting, so try to harvest rainwater. So we have so many methods to store rainwater, and we know very well that rain is a pure form of water, so we can use this water in other purposes. So students, this was for today, and in the next video we will come with our next topic, that is soil. So till that you need to learn all these things.